15 beautiful souls on. Welcome. Welcome. Well, the strangest thing happened. Whether it was the algorithms or whether people power, I'm totally not sure. But I did a video the other day, 4 or 5 days ago, and it was just because so many people were really, reaching out to me saying, please give me some advice, please help, I feel really bad. Just basically they wanted reassurance or cheering up or, just like a reading like I used to do. So I took my cards, sat down, because I can't personally speak to everybody every day because I have 200 to 400 messages, sometimes more a day, so it's impossible. So I sat down, grabbed my tarot cards, Carl Rorig, and instead of reading the cards, I just channeled. Channeled just means that I just listened to my heart. It's just another word of listening inside. And I said a few words, I don't even know what I said, because when you channel, when you normally what happens with me, I don't know about other people. I can't say for other people, but for me, I instinctively close my eyes and go to my third eye. This is why one of my main sayings is, when you close your eyes, you see far more. So I close my eyes, as I used to do for 12 full on years of reading, and at the morning, and at that particular moment, instead of picking the cards up and reading the cards, which I love doing, I just channeled a message, which I said, I can't remember what I said. I have no idea what came out of my mouth. And I haven't looked at the video because I don't really like looking at any of my videos because I don't like my voice. I don't like my Yorkshire accent. It makes me cringe. So when everybody puts, blind date on or any of my videos, I say switch it off, please. I can't bear to listen to my own voice. I think David Bowie had the same issue actually, and I think a few singers have the same issue. They don't like to hear their own voice and they don't think that their own voice is very nice. So, yeah, sorry I'm sidetracked, but the point being is that video, most of my videos do about 500 to 1,000 views in a week, something like that. But this one just broke free and got to a state of over 30,000 views already, something like that. I haven't checked, but I just answered some of the messages on there, and it's funny because I used to do videos on YouTube and say to people, and a lot of people say, I don't really understand what you mean. And I used to say that when I gave readings, as soon as somebody sat down, and this is people who are strong and powerful, right? Not just vulnerable people. Everybody thinks that people come to psychics and healers because they're vulnerable. Not always. And grown men used to come, right, sit down, and as soon as I closed my eyes and started channeling, they broke into tears. They broke down. They just didn't know why. And many cried all the way through 1 hour. Floods of tears as I continued speaking. And they often used to say to me, why did I just suddenly break down and cry? And I say, I don't really know, but for me, it feels like the heart is opening. And most of us have a closed heart, in truth. Most of us close our heart because we're frightened of rejection. We're frightened of being attacked. We're frightened of love. We're frightened of happiness, excitement. We're frightened of adventure, because whenever we feel, when we achieve something, we feel like we're going to lose it or something bad's going to happen. So when you're in a room all cleansed, there's no negative energy in there, so there's nothing to protect yourself about. You don't need to, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your energy, your spirit, your consciousness. Your consciousness doesn't have anything, when it's in a good energy room, it relaxes. It's like your spirit goes, thank God, right? And then when somebody starts to channel, it's like the energy that pours through that room is the most healing energy in the world. And it's not, and I've said this many times if you've ever heard me, I've said many people cried in front of me when I started doing a reading. Nobody understood, really hardly anybody understood. But if you go to that video that I'm talking about now, just look at the comments. That's not lies, that's not manipulation, that's not me trying to prove anything. It's not to do with ego, it's to do with truth. And the truth is, when you're in the company of beautiful energy, and not just words, but healing energy, these are the telltale signs of pure energy. So it's really interesting because, like I said, it's done 30,000, something like that, over 4 or 5 days. And that's really unusual because I was shadow banned and I was blocked. Most of my videos are blocked, so I get constantly, day by day, people saying I can't find you anymore, or I don't see any of your videos and it's hard to find you. Same on Instagram, same all over. But it's funny sometimes when there's a message, when there's a real, I mean, maybe what I speak about most of the time isn't brilliant, isn't fantastic, it's just okay. But maybe when there's a real, truthful, beautiful, powerful message that needs to be touched in people's hearts, maybe Spirit has the power to break free from the darkness and get it out there. So that really gave me a lot of confidence and made me feel really good, made me feel happy. At least one message is touching people, and I'm sure there's plenty more everywhere in the world. But the interesting thing about channeling is it's got a bad press because there's a lot of charlatans, there's a lot of liars, cheats, swindlers, people who are trying to sell something, people who are trying to make you believe something, and thus real channeling becomes very rare to find, very rare. And some people who really believe they're channeling are just going into their brain and just speaking from their brain. So, you know, it's kind of wishful thinking, but it's still okay as long as it come from a good place. At least it's a way to try and channel. Okay, I guess. But it's interesting because I remember the day when I prepared a healing circle, and this very famous lady in Ibiza came. She came to listen to this new guy who was a young lad, and he was new to all of it, but he was doing some pretty good work, called Bajerski. And she sat down with a group of other people, and I gave a talk, and then I gave healings to everybody. I created a flower circle, and I brought people into the circle, and I was channeling all night. The following day, this lady invited me for a coffee and a chat, and she's just a lovely lady, and I could feel the presence of love and really special lady. You know, sometimes you meet people who are just like, whoa, a really special lady. And she started saying, where did you learn what you learned? And I said, I didn't. I just started doing it on my own. A lot of people came into my life, but I didn't really follow what they told me to follow. I'd followed my own truth and my own work. So I listened to everybody, but I just listened to myself more. And she said, that's really interesting, Mark. She says, I want to tell you something. She says, and the conversation went on is that this lady had meeting somebody extremely special, apparently, and who had channeled information. And that information, she said, was when she sat down with me and I spent 3 hours, 4 hours doing this night, this spiritual night, she said, I had goosebumps because nearly everything that you were saying was aligning to what this other person had channeled. And she said, we would love for you to join us. And I said, what is it? And she said, it's called A Course in Miracles. And I went, oh. I said, you know what? I said, I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. And it sounds beautiful. She mentioned a few things, and I said, it sounds beautiful, but something inside me just tells me to just keep doing what I'm doing. And I am overjoyed that you've invited me to join that family. But if it's okay, I'd like to just continue my own path. She was very humble and she smiled, and plus the fact I don't read. I don't read because I've got dyslexia. I really struggle to read. So I wouldn't be able to read the scriptures or whatever the Bible is of Course in Miracles. But it was interesting that she mentioned that my channeling was similar to the channeling of Course in Miracles. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know anything about it, but it's funny that a few people who came into my life, very special people, talk about A Course in Miracles, and I still know nothing about it because my path was what I was channeling. So, and it came across as egoistic to a lot of people, but the ones that really understood me realised that, hey, he's doing what he's doing. Let him do what he's doing. Let him be. Don't influence him. He's doing good work. Let him be. And of course, some scallywags who want to grab you because they see that you're potentially going to boost their cult or whatever it may be that they're trying to sell. But ultimately, I thought that was fascinating. When people ask me about channeling, I don't really know about other people. When people ask me about other forms of healing techniques, I don't really know about other forms of healing technique. But what I did do, and what I do try and share with my friends every day is that you, like me, simple guy from Yorkshire who used to be an auctioneer, have the ability within us, if we follow that guidance, to be individual and unique and to share that light, not so much with others, but to share it within ourselves. What that means is to be the ultimate you, and then others see that as a lighthouse shining bright. So I didn't do it to help everybody else. I did it to help myself because I was a mess. I was a wreck. And you're no good if you're a wreck. So ultimately I did it to heal myself, and then the rest follows. Whether you become a healer for the rest of your life, or you heal your child, or you heal a stranger, or you help one person along this journey, just out of sheer coincidence, because there's no such thing as coincidence, of course, but just out of sheer coincidence, this happened, and oh my God. I remember writing Seeing the Invisible when I was in Bali, and I've got dyslexia and dyspraxia, and I said to Arlene, who was my co-writer, in the sense that she takes my words and then punctuations and all the correct grammar. She was saying to me, I can't believe how you're writing. And I said, I can't believe how I'm writing, Arlene. I have no idea where this is coming from. And she says, I'm correcting nearly nothing. I'm absolutely blown away. Ask her, she'll tell you. It was flowing like, I just can't explain where that energy came from, and it's not happened since. So, in fact, I've been really stuck with Power of Moldavite, to be honest. I've been stuck because there's so many changes with Moldavite right now. I worked with Moldavite last night, and it's like flipping heck. I could swear now, but flipping heck. It's changing every day when you work with it because of what's going on in the world. something's happening, guys, and I don't know what it is, but it feels major, feels really major in the next coming couple of 3 months. So I guess my talk today, this little chat with you today, is be strong. Listen to your gut instinct. Don't listen to other people. Listen to what feels right. Be strong. Be powerful. Okay? Be the lighthouse of the world, and don't be influenced by people with fear, with pushing, forcing. Okay, just stay well away from people like that, and just keep shining your light, and ignore the madness that may start to occur more and more in these next coming 3 months. That's my message today. But I am thankful, really thankful for that channeled message from the spirit world. Always remember this: we're not the message, we're the messenger, all of us. And no matter what moment in life we are, if we're in a place where somebody needs a helping hand, quite often spirit comes through us, moves through us, and our consciousness grows to be able to share a message with somebody that helps them. Sometimes you don't know where it comes from, why you just said it, and that's normally a great sign that you're channeling beautiful. Somebody asked me, how do you know when somebody's channeling? When somebody's channeling love, or when somebody's channeling darkness, because of course we're influenced by darkness as yin and yang. And that was a great question asked of me at one of the events that I did, and it's really easy. When something resonates inside and you feel it, and you can't explain the feeling of love and truth, you know you're in the presence of pure spirit and love. When something doesn't resonate and you start to feel uncomfortable and it feels weird or it doesn't make sense, then you may be in the company of somebody who's channeling, let's say, something not as positive. Or, you can call it what you want. You can call it evil, you can call it manipulators, whatever you want. But ultimately, you know deep down, okay, just got a message just now saying that my Moldavite trios have not arrived. That's amazing. Typical. But anyway, it will arrive at the right moment. And I'm sorry, guys, there's a lot of people asking for trios, screaming for them. It's good. It's a good sign. There's a couple of famous people who shared their trios again 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, I've got none left. I can't make them fast enough because it's a process. I have to work on the Moldavites first of all for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Once I've finished putting my energy in them, I have to work on Tektites for at least 3 to 4 weeks, and then I have to work on the Herkimer Diamonds. I've just finished working on 50 Herkimer Diamonds. That took nearly 4 weeks, and then they get sent off to be mounted. And because of the parasitical government that calls themselves carers of humanity. No, they're not. They're abusers of humanity. They're abusers of humanity. That's what they are. They're abusers. They steal from us. They're just absolute parasitical entities that are driven by evil and manipulators. They are manipulators. So, yeah. They bleed us, they suck us dry, because that's what they do. And they manage to hypnotize the world in believing that they're there because we elected them. Yeah, whatever. Alright guys, love you all. Have a great day. Is it 2 more days till the Pure Energy Healing course? I am so excited. If you're joining us, you're going to love these 4 days. You're going to absolutely love these 4 days. If you know nothing about the Pure Energy Healing technique and how we roll, just go over to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel and watch the latest video, and then click on the link below and see Layla Sati, who's also a teacher of Pure Energy Healing, fantastic soul. And maybe, just maybe, you might join us on this course on the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Might just change your life. Take care.